Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 221, and we're here. I can't see you. Every time we start this recording, it's like your thing goes away, but we'll it'll be all good. It's all good.
It's there. I don't have that same delay, if you will, where like the picture.
Well, when you last week when you shared your screen, it fixed it. So whatever, we'll figure it out. I'm trying to move myself so I could be split screen here, but it's not working. Anyway, so we're back. Super Bowl week. This is the post Super Bowl time, and I don't know that there's any other significant events that happened other than if you're in Canada or Montana and you look up, you'll see something probably. But that's not beer related. So, thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on the Super Bowl?
There was a game. I actually picked the Chiefs. I've got written, whatever happened. It was nice listening to the morning pundits when I was on the treadmill, like talk through the 87 things and just do that news, that 24/7 news cycle, but with the football game. But there's an obvious commercial that we need to talk about, JT. But if you have thoughts about the game, I don't want to railroad you on that.
No, I don't have any thoughts about the game. I think that we will forget about that game. I've already forgotten about it. It was forgettable. It wasn't forgettable until the end. And then it was like, oh, well, this game will not be remembered because it is anticlimactic. The NFL hurt itself. But other than that, it's all commercials for me. That's all I care about.
The one commercial, and it's not because of our affinity for it. I still think that outside the movie trailers, because movie trailers are in their like separate. It's not so much a commercial,
you can't rate them.
Yeah. The Busch Light commercial, amazing. Like that, Sarah McLachlan, like saving the animals, has been like in the vernacular, like, I know I use it as punchlines, like, I will read it. Like, terrible singer, don't like, we were not going to get DCMA'd for that. But the fact that they pulled that off, and the Busch Light guy, just kind of like awkwardly, not in an asshole methodology, but awkwardly like just cut her off and like cracked a Busch Light. Delightful home run.
Yeah, I did like the Busch Light commercial. I thought it was interesting to see. It felt almost uncomfortable to see the man telling the woman who's playing dumb. We know Sarah McLachlan knows what a wolf is, but like that's not a dog, that's a wolf. But like usually it's the other way around. Like lately, it's been the other way around. And she kind of played like the Homer Simpson in that situation.
She was the thin man.
And also,
for sure.
After I saw that one, I was kind of like, at first I was like, I don't know. As much as we make fun of that commercial, I think it's an impactful commercial, the real one, with the dogs, because no one wants to see dogs suffer. I love dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you could just step away from that, I'm not like, oh, you can't do that. It was a good commercial,
That commercial had lasting power. It wasn't the Fred McGriff back-to-back AAU national champions that ran for, like 24 years. But I think that Sarah McLachlan video lasted a decade.
I think that's still on. If any of us watch TV, we'd probably still see it. But we don't.
The other one that I'm confused by, and judging by that, how that was my home run, so you've got another home run out there. I am just left confused by the Miller Lite Coors Light commercial.
Oh, God, yeah. I hated
that. What was happening?
I hated a lot of the commercials. Most of the commercials were god-awful. I can't believe people do this as their actual professions. It was
far from the days of Mad Men.
I think that because they have the rights to say whatever they want, there's no like trademark infringement on each other's beers. They just did the Miller Coors and then Blue whatever. Forgot the name of the beer already.
Blue Moon.
That's crazy. It's like this. What is this commercial? It was so stupid. I don't think they needed that commercial. They didn't need it. It hurt them more than it helped them, I think.
I was confused.
It should have just been a Miller and a Coors commercial in the end.
Right.
But I guess it was. In a meta kind of way, it was a Miller and a Coors commercial.
Yeah.
But it was also a Blue Moon commercial, which was stupid. I don't know. My biggest takeaway was I'm actually ashamed of Michelob for the Caddyshack parody. It was not only was it bad, But Caddyshack, I think it sits in this category. Like if you think about like the NHL's original six, Caddyshack is like what those teams are to the NHL to comedy. It is sort of a foundation of comedy, along with several other movies. And you can parody Caddyshack for sure, but you can't parody it like that. That was fucking trash. I hated that commercial. But anyway, that's it. I mean, I don't know what specifically. It just didn't land.
Yeah.
Tony Romo as Bill Murray, I thought that could have worked. But there just wasn't enough there. There wasn't enough Caddyshack there. It was just, I don't know what it was. It was bad.
Interesting. So, so a few bright spots worth mentioning. Otherwise, probably forgettable. And, that's, because we get all of these inputs and stimulus from all of these different screens that we watch and, how we ingest like our media or whatever now. It's far gone be the days. I know we brought up the commercial in a chat at what I was in, and everyone's like, I just missed the Budweiser frogs. Not a product but those Budweiser, like
viral.
Again, we still talk about that sparingly, but 25 years after it happened.
Yeah.
When we couldn't even drink.
Yeah,
legally.
But it went viral before there was viral.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I'd agree with that. I don't know what I wanted. I think you don't need so many celebrities.
Yeah.
Like the DraftKings commercial was stupid as hell. Like you don't need all that. Just make a good commercial. Make something funny. I don't know. Maybe these companies are afraid to be funny because it seems like no matter what you say, you might say something that offends somebody.
Right.
Maybe they're just taking that approach, and that's fine. I guess that's just where we are. It's really the only time probably 50% of the United States sees commercials other than YouTube.
Yeah, now.
So you really you really should be going the extra mile. Make even better commercials than we used to. But yeah, I think I did like the Breaking Bad one, and the mayonnaise one wasn't terrible. The ham and brie one, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Otherwise, beer commercials didn't really. There was no horse either. I thought they were still do the Clydesdale thing.
No, that's I think that's 2 years departed now. But the interesting thing, and people have asked us from time to time, longtime Chugalos about like our Busch Light commercials. Yeah. And I think that was great when we did a audio format because you don't want to look at our ugly mugs like when we're reading copy. So it's something, believe me, a little inside pool for the Chugalos we've talked about because we enjoyed, it was a game between the three of us to one up each other, from the week before. And we never do pre-production, obviously. But one of the things was all right, I've got the commercial and then you'd hand out scripts before we would start. That was the most pre-production we did. And those were a lot of fun. But again, if we could, one day we could translate it and onto a video format, maybe pictures or PowerPoint or something like that.
Yeah.
We would love to do it, but again, then you're like this, right. All right, this is, it just translated to the pure audio format so much better.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. We maybe figure it out at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe we just have a break or something, in the video, and it's just audio. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, people ask about it, and people want them back. It was a lot of fun doing the Busch.
I was going through some leadership coaching, and then we're going to get to the beer. I was going through some leadership coaching this last week, and my coach was like, "Hey, Matt, you used to do this podcast." I go, "Yes, sir, I still do the podcast." He goes, "Send it over to me." So I sent it over to him to listen. Yeah. And I just was like, hey, I'm in a professional role with him. I'm less than professional in this environment. It's a, tale of two Matts, if you will. Yeah. Right. And I go, hey, it's spicy language, or I forget. And he sent me some notes, and one of them was like, you guys have a really cold open. You guys could use some music. And I just want to say, on the audio version, we did. We had our the we had our own band that, you know, toured the nation that did our opening for us. It just, we just don't do that on the video, you know, for multiple reasons. But
I guess we could play
it was nice to have people ask about it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I guess
we could play an instrument.
We could just play it audio, you know, like on a phone and hold the phone up to the like microphone or something.
Or like you could get a small kit, and I could like get a harmonica or something. We could play ourselves. We could play ourselves in.
We could do that. We should try that. That'd be good.
There's some things there, but anyways, like I always get a kick when people, and I very respectful way to put it. I like it when, like, you know, again, people are like, hey, I miss the commercials, or hey, like a music. I like it because it shows that you're engaged while you're listening. It's not just empty calories. Like you're processing it at the same time we are. Yeah.
Love the feedback.
So thank you.
And you reminded me of a Mitch Hedberg joke where he was like, I don't remember what it was that he used to do. I used to do this thing. Like I still do, but I used to too. And that was the whole joke. Funny. Anyway, what you got?
Okay, my first beer, both my beers, we finally, I have gonna have a new can art boner because I remember where they came from. My first one that I'm gonna drink is from Oliphant. We've had them before on the podcast. Unfortunately, he's only given me onesies of these just because I think they're the bottom of his cooler. Either way, I'm glad to get them because I've never had them before. So my first one is going to be Oliphant Brewing Milkman Man Baby. It's a Milky Vice Donut Stout. So it's a 6.5% milk stout, and it comes in a pint can. What are you drinking?
Donut stout. That's interesting. I am drinking OK Karen from Toxic. This is from Toxic Brew Company. First time I think we've done Toxic on the podcast.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is in collaboration with Coco's Bistro. And it's brewed and canned at Toxic Brewery in Dayton, Ohio. So new ground for us.
Yeah, a Dayton brewer that we're now just like Dayton, like an old school Dayton that we're just getting to.
Yeah, like right there on in the Oregon District. Yeah, big time. All right, you ready to crack it open?
All right,
let's do it. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Toxic, breaking the bubble. I mean, it had to have happened, right?
It had to, and you know they've got a lot of. I'd say 3 or 4 in stores, maybe more. I don't know. Their can art, other than OK Karen, their can art is phenomenal. So I don't know if you've seen it, but I will try to find some examples of that. All the beer with the great can art, though, I've already had, so I don't buy it for the podcast.
Drink in the can.
Drink in the can. Wow, this is interesting.
I'm right there with you. I just have to take a social media picture here. People, I get questions like, "Hey, why do you bring your phone up?" Or most of the time, I'm just checking into my beers, so I don't forget about it because I've forgotten. Like today, I had one and I forgot about it. But two, I like engaging with Chugalos. I know it's like, "Hey, you're going to be on this. You're going to be on this episode." Wow, there is. Okay, so Oliphant, I'm going to go a little bit into it because there's a little bit here, even though we've had him on the podcast. And I was going to tell you what episode because I don't think I did a website review. And I kind of wanted to get away. So it was 110. So it's Mr. Samurai Karate Guy, which is a great name.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, they're out of Somerset, Wisconsin. Somerset, Wisconsin is most famous for Float Right Amphitheater, which is where if bands play a big tour, that's an outdoor, not it's actually in Wisconsin. They'll say Minneapolis, but it's actually 15 or 20 minutes from the border. So Somerset's the dot on the map. They're known for their sours and their IPAs and their fruited smoothie type stuff. This just happened. This is a departure because it's a milk stout. So you can find out more about them at Oliphant. That's OLIPHANT brewing.com. And they have tongue-in-cheek. You can't find out anything about them, but it's like, where do I park? Who do I contact to find out about your beer and everything? But there's a couple. Who does all of the artwork? So I want to put that up there. Oh, that's Jeremy Hughes. He's excellent. Say hi if you see him. Okay, here's the two that I wanted to say. How many different beers have you produced? Hard to say at this point. We made this website over 45 years ago, so it could be in the thousands at this point. Can't stop, won't stop. And then the final one is, can I rent out the tap room for special events? Just a no. So there's not a lot of information about it, but I like their what was the one terminology I saw on their can? Like they're obviously, you know, taking into account like the whimsicalness of it. Oliphant, play on elephant. Elephant. I know I said it wrong, but that's just what it is. This is, God, they make much better beers. JT, you're not going to be sad that you missed this one. Off the top rope, I'm going to give this one, 325. Chugalo Ryan bequeathed this one to me. This is one of his favorite tap rooms in Western Wisconsin. This just isn't, I don't get any of the, Milky Weizen Dunkel Stout, not donut. So that changes it a little bit. I didn't want something overly sweet anyways, even though it was a milk stout. The lactose isn't there. It's just a hammer of abrasiveness.
Ooh, I like that term, hammer of abrasiveness.
On the palate. I don't think the lactose cuts through it. Maybe I should have rolled it a little bit more. Yeah, it's a rough. You got to have them all though, JT. We don't have a podcast. You got to have them all.
You got to have them all. I'm just trying to do work some magic here, so I can get you showing on the thing here. I'm gonna actually share my screen for the Toxic website. See if that helps.
Yeah. So yeah, but check out Oliphant. This is by far the least impressive beer I've had from them. Everything else is dynamite. If you get it, it's something I seek out when I do see it. I'll buy a whole bunch of it. Chugalo Ryan, thank you for this. He just happened to give me this one. I bet he redeems himself on the second one, which is also going to be a new brewer for us.
Probably.
So JT, I want to hear about your Toxic.
What did you say? Hammer of what? I've already forgotten.
Hammer of abrasiveness. Do you want me to write?
What a sweet phrase.
I will write that down.
I'm writing it down right now. All right. Toxic Brew. First things first, I want to say that since 2018, when we started doing this podcast, I think that we both, and this could probably even extend to Cobra, have had mediocre opinions of Toxic.
You're being kind.
Yeah. It is my opinion, in the times that I've gone since 2018, each time they have improved. And they are at a point now where I consider Toxic to be a pretty good brewery. The drinks that they have there are, I have not had a bad one in some time. And they have this very wonderful menu of cocktails, things that I have never had that you can get there, which I think is phenomenal.
Are they beer tails or like mocktails or actual full like liquor license?
Legit cocktails, separate from the beer, like, you know, whiskey, rum, whatever.
Yeah,
not beer cocktails or anything. But their beer has been getting increasingly better. They've always had a good selection. I think they always have Toxic Blonde, which is their standard. And I'm not sure what else. Maybe ISO Heaven or something like that. But yeah, they've been improving. Now I don't know about OK Karen, because Pilsners are not necessarily the thing that I'm most fond of. See, where's the share screen here?
It's in the bottom right middle.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it won't let me share Google Chrome, which is very stupid.
I can always, if you need me to bring it up.
You can if you want. You don't have to. I was only going to share it to see the can art from Toxic Blonde, but no big deal. So let me just talk about OK Karen. So I think anyway, I think Toxic is increasing their goodness across Dayton, and this is going to be the first Toxic review. I don't have a website review, but if you do get to go to that space, I recommend it. It's actually a really nice place to enjoy beer. Whether or not you enjoy their beer, well, leave that up to your taste buds. When you go there, visit them because it is a really nice place. And the Oregon District has some awesome places to visit, places to eat, drink, and just kind of hang out at. OK Karen is a beer that it's a Pilsner. It is 5%. And the can art is kind of lackluster. It doesn't deliver like most can arts do, especially from Toxic. I mean, if you see the can art from Toxic Blonde, you're going to be like, holy shit, they have some pretty awesome can art. But this is obviously just some pencils, some pencil flowers or stars or something, and then some cursive OK Karen. Now, I assume that is the Karen we're all talking about when we say OK Karen. You know, the Karen who has the let me see your manager haircut and kind of just goes off on people for no reason. Coco's Bistro. I've never been to Coco's. Have you been to Coco's?
I have multiple times.
Oh, how is it?
It's good. It's a little bit pricey, but again, it's on the offshoot. It's when I turn the wrong way to go to your house, I think. It's either the wrong way or the right way. It's one or the other.
Oh, one or the other.
But it's right there, right before the hospital. Good food.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Yeah, never been. But yeah, on Fifth Street. That's the Can of Runner segment. I got really not much to say about that. Now, as a Pilsner, this is going to be like European Pilsner. This thing has a metallic, weedy, kind of dusty flavor to it. It was, I did not expect it. Unexpected Pilsner flavor. It just kind of, it hits, it's got a dryness to it. It hits like, you know, you drink these European Pilsners, and you're like, yeah, yep, this is the European Pilsner. It just has that distinct flavor from the American. The American Pilsners are kind of, they have a lighter taste, a lighter feel to them, more thirst quenching. This one makes you want to keep drinking, which I guess is good, but it continuously dries you out. So it's a little, what's a good word to describe this? Unsatisfying.
Yeah.
The flavor, I think if you're a Pilsner fan, you're going to find things to like about this beer. I feel like there's coriander in this, and I'm not sure if there's a way to find that. I had it pulled up. Let me get that.
You could do like Beer Advocate or something.
Yeah, I got it. So a delicate sweetness balanced by pleasant hop bitterness in a straw-colored effervescent classic style Pilsner. There's definitely hop bitterness in this. That was the one noticeable attribute of this that you don't get across all Pilsners is that hop bitterness. It almost has like a craft beer tinge to it, where it's like this is a Pilsner, but you can taste the hops pretty. They're right there in the front, in the back, across the whole thing. It does dry you out. It's not really my thing. I have other beers that I like more. Other Pilsners that I like more. But it's not a bad beer by any means. It's right on the average line. So 3.0 for me on this OK Karen. But again, Toxic is doing well, so I won't fault them for this one.
Can I talk a little bit about Toxic? So this is going to be Matt's perspective on Toxic. So Toxic, the reason why I kind of grimaced or whatever. Am I still frozen on your screen?
I can't see you. Yeah.
Okay. So, but at least you have my audio. We'll just go with it.
Yeah.
No one needs to see my ugly mug. Toxic was the first brewer that reopened Dayton to the craft beer brewing scene, and they did it in 2013. No one else was there. Warped Wing wasn't there. DBC wasn't there. No one was there. So they were the first one, and I think Now, just in the Dayton area, I think we have 11. So when they're the first one and you're a beer drinker, you're going to go. And I was very novice in my craft beer journey. This was 10 years ago. So they're coming up on their 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
And I went there with other people that have much more of opinion and much more educated opinion, much more gravity and everything behind their stuff. And so we were there very early in their process. And as the Chugalos know, when you're a new brewer, you buy a lot of your ingredients in bulk, and you just you treat it like a Mexican restaurant in the fact that you have 4 or 5 main ingredients, and the only thing that you do is you mix up the quantities and how you produce it. But other than that, it's the same ingredients. It's how Taco Bell is such a successful restaurant. Well, unfortunately, early on, Toxic didn't have the recipe for success. I remember going to DBC's, Dayton Brew Company's first location when they were on Indian Ripple. And we went there, and I had a flight, and probably one of the reasons why I'm against a flight, like if people ask me, we know you're against a flight, where did the flight hurt you? Tell us. And I remember the first flight, or one of the first flights I had, was at Dayton Beer Company, and all 5 of their products, they were all different colored, but you could have put a blindfold on any of us, and no one would have been able to tell you the difference. Again, the same malt, it's the same yeast, but now, like, as you're bigger and you can take more risk and have more diversity, I just haven't given Toxic that other. And it wasn't like they were Wild Ohio or they were drain pours. It was just like, wow, this isn't like I'm paying a solid price point and I'm just severely underwhelmed. So now when time becomes more precious and you have more constraints on your time, like we all do, you're going to go to a place that you know, or somebody goes, hey, like JT goes, hey, Matt, you really need to go to Zebras. Like, go to Zebras. It's amazing. Like, and I've never been led astray by somebody's suggestion. Nobody in our group has like, you know what, you need to go to Toxic.
That's a good point.
That's never happened to me.
Yeah, that's a really good point. No one has said that. I never thought of that. Yeah. And
it's right up there. And when I get to my second beer, it's a thought that will resonate no matter if we stop doing this podcast tomorrow, 10 years from now. There are a few things like word of mouth is powerful, especially when you have a good group of friends. In addition to that, what is also powerful is your product, and just making sure that, you know, there's something solid or something that appeals to everyone.
Yeah. I would say you don't actually have to appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
For who you appeal to, you have to appeal to them well.
Right.
Yeah. Like I think starting out, like you said, you can be mediocre and maybe get another chance, but you know, well down the road, if you're still mediocre, then that's what you are. That's your identity.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
People want. I was just trying to mess with. Now it's not giving me the option, even though it says the camera's on. But I can poke with it as we continue to do this.
I mean, last time you shared your screen and it fixed it. I don't know if you have anything to share. You do a website review or whatever. It's no big deal.
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't even have it on right now. So it's like it's frozen, but it's still recording. So I don't want to. I obviously don't want to crash it.
Yeah. Well, if you want, we can patch it together. Otherwise, we just keep going. Keep trying.
No, we're chugging along. I think we got this. People don't watch to see my face. We just do it because it's easiest.
They do watch to see your face. They want to know what color your bandana is.
Hey, they got that. It's dark blue today.
Yeah, it's dark blue.
I got a call out. So last week it was white. I wore that to trivia, and the trivia caller was like, "Hey, nice accessory over." Like, it was awesome. Like, thank you for acknowledging it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought he was saying
I handled it in step though.
Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, you're good at that.
All right. Are you ready for?
Let no good rip go unresponded to.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially when you have it like, and he's the best. The reason why we do he's the best trivia caller. I've done trivia in dozens of places. Like craft beer, not all trivia people are the same. He just does it the best. Like, he's amazing at it. Out to Sandy's Tavern.
I'll shout to Sandy's Tavern. You should do trivia. I think you'd be good at it.
That would be. I do daily trivia with my coworkers at work, and but yeah, I ask a question every day, and I give a prize at the end of the month.
Yeah, you should sign up to be the caller one day. Just see how it goes. You'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the next beer.
Next beer. God, this is all right. So beer number 2, also from Chugalos Ryan. So he called it, because he had a bunch from this brewery. He called it Victory, and I was like, I don't think it's Victory. So I did, upon further inspection on the other beer that he had, because he had quite the offerings for me. It was Vintage Brewing Company. Vintage Brewing Company is out of Madison. They've got a couple of locations in southern Wisconsin, Sauk City, and 2 in Madison. This is a sour ale. It's Diamond Star Halo, and it's a 4.8% sour.
Okay. Diamond Star Halo.
JT, what's your second beer?
My second beer is Untitled Art. This is Kiwi Waaaazzzzzuuuupppp Juice Drops IPA. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Y-E-T or Itty, I don't know.
Yeah. I think
I'm not Hawaiian or Samoan or whatever that is, but it is a Kiwi IPA, Juice Drops IPA by Untitled Art. Excited for this one. So let's crack it open. It's a 7.5%.
7 point. Wow. 2 Wisconsin beers for beer number 2 today.
Oh, look. Yeah, that's true. All right, let's crack this open. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. This has got Kiwi. Yeah, who's this in collaboration with? I wonder. Maybe no one. It doesn't have a collaborator.
Really?
Yeah, it's
just
India Pale Ale with Itty hops, kiwi juice, and natural flavors, brewed and canned at Untitled Art, Waunakee, Wisconsin.
It makes me. I almost want to call shenanigans, as a rebrewer. Yeah, I love it though.
I love it too. Do I love it? I don't know. Undecided. All right.
So a little bit about. I'm wondering. I'm going to try to do it now because I've got something to share. Maybe this will share, but my video's not up. So I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
As my intention was not to, but let's see if we can. Oh, I'm getting less and less functionality, and every time I go back to Skype. Okay, so now I'm glad everything disappeared besides your face. Oh, there we go.
Good.
Okay. Yep, everything's frozen. Okay, we're just gonna go forward with it. So this is my second staple thought where I was kind of trembling over myself like about 6 or 7 minutes ago. You're a brewery. The first thing I want to see when I come to it is either your brewery. They had a fantastic looking cheeseburger with onion straws. It's a brewery. I understand. I understand the pairing and everything like that, and you make a solid product. Show me your beer. Apparently, marketing research or whatever has told them hey, our profit margins. Yeah, we do well on the beer, but we also do well on the food. So let's upsell the food. But Diamond Star Halo, it's a very old school Silver Star can, and you can find out more. You can follow me along if you go to vintagebrewingcompany.com, and when you go to About Us, there again, it's all food. When you go to these new and separate pages, and there happens to be a glass of beer at this breakfast, which I can get down with. But finding out anything more about them, you've really got to click through a lot of stuff. And yes, our patio has heaters or anything like that. I want to know about you. So there isn't much about them. It's more of a bar that actually happens to do their own brewing, and I think that's the feel I get on it. But with this beer, it's described as crisp and quenching, tart and tangy, golden kettle sour with notes of sourdough and citrus. 100% on the citrus. And if you get that in the right balance in a sour, that could be an easy drinker and not that something that cheeks you up or like, you know, tightens your lower mandible. This beer delivers in being actually sour. You know, some of these like entry level sours or whatever, they don't have any sour. They don't satisfy the people that are after that. Rather, they just do a good job on repulsing those individuals like JT and I were talking earlier. In my office, there's not very many people that like sours. But we are able to get them to try some if we're like, okay, this isn't too sour. Most of them turn their nose up on it. Yeah. But at this beer, it's refreshing, palatable, approachable, and it's a slightly less effervescent squirt. And this is what I'm in for, or this is what I'm after for beers like this. Yeah. Off the top rope as a 4.8% ABV. I dig this one immensely. This Ryan, you just went and totally redeemed yourself. Look at that. Crushable. I'm vacillating between two. I'm going to go 4.5.
Wow, 4.5. That's very good. I wonder, why is it that people are so turned off by sours?
They see it and they won't even try it. Like they won't get it in a flight, nothing.
Try the sours, people. It's like, I don't know what that's all about. It's juice basically. Just drink it. Yeah. It's good. Everyone loves that stuff. All right. Well, my Kiwi YET Juice Drops IPA. The thing about like Polynesian words is they're taxing to say, because you have to in order to pronounce two I's back to back, you have to pause, and it's just a taxing way to speak. It's almost like clicking, like it's like YET. I don't know how fast anyone could. I don't know if there's any like speed talkers like the Matchbox Cars guy.
Nice callback.
In Hawaiian, Polynesian tongues. But regardless of that, that is the type of hops, which is a hop I had not had before. So I appreciate that. I will say this beer is dank without the kiwi.
Interesting.
Without the kiwi, this is almost a West Coast. It might actually be on that spectrum. Yeah. Without the kiwi, I think you might have a home run IPA. And it's weird because I'm not really buying just IPAs really right now. I want something to get my attention, something more than an IPA. Because if I'm going to buy an IPA, like, how do I even decide which one to buy? There's so many of them. Let's see.
I was trying to join from my phone. Oh, it says you're unavailable. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Do I switch back or what?
No.
We stay here.
We stay here. We don't have a room. If we had a room set up, I could just join the call.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
No problem. So, so YET hops, happy to have those. And I think I am a huge fan of kiwis. I eat kiwis for lunch regularly. I peel them, cut them up. I love them. They're amazing.
You're like the Bubba Gump of kiwis.
No, I don't have a bunch of dishes that I have with them. Kiwi soup, a kiwi shrimp, a kiwi curry, which would probably actually be really good, kiwi curry.
Yeah.
But I have it. I do like the dry and the fresh versions of kiwi. But in this beer, I'm gonna have to agree with Matt. It doesn't belong here. It's not working. It gives this beer. You said the word kettle, and I hate kettle popcorn. I think kettle popcorn there's something about it that just
interesting. That's a hot take.
This molassesy thickness to it that I don't like.
Okay.
And that's what this beer reminds me of. It reminds me of kettle corn. It's just got this thick, sugary thing that you can't pinpoint. If you didn't tell me kiwi was in this, I would probably say it's
You're a liar.
some sort of like hop syrup. But now because I know there's kiwi in here, I can kind of separate it on the palate, and I know that there's hops from these YET hops, and there's the kiwi juice. Now I've never had kiwi juice, so maybe kiwi juice is thicker than I expect it to be. I would think kiwi juice would be sort of like watermelon juice, where it's just water basically with a flavor. But maybe because of that kind of sliminess that kiwis have, that wetness that they have, maybe kiwi juice is syrupy and I just don't realize it. And this beer's done well. Regardless of that, I don't like it. I think that it could be a very good IPA, but for marketing purposes, putting the kiwi in there makes me buy it, because I'm, again, not really buying just straight up IPAs, because if I do, I'm probably going to buy one with the best can art. And this can art is decent. It has a very kiwi feel to it. Got these like green, orange kind of tones of green, what do you call it? Colors, lines, spirals, something like that. And it's got some seeds, I guess these would be like seeds. Even though kiwis don't have seeds like this, they have seeds like these little tiny black ones. The seeds, they give you a crunchy texture when you eat the kiwi.
Yeah, they're edible, right? They're not
they're edible and they're delicious.
Yeah, they're not offensive to the palate.
No, yeah, it adds something to the fruit that most fruit don't have, which is, that crunch, that sound. It adds the texture of sound to your eating. But this beer is not very good. It's not a drain pour, but it's not something I'm not going to drink any more of these. I'm going to give this beer I'm going to give this beer a 2.5.
Oh, wow.
2.5. It's just not something I want. And I hope that there's a collaboration here, but if Untitled Art's brewing their own beer, hey, that's good. You got something good with those YET hops. Just do that. That's my
True or false, JT? You're going to use this podcast as your audition tape to be in the stage rendition of Moana.
Yes, I want everyone to hear my pronunciation of multiple vowels in a row. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've seen Moana one time. I don't believe I remember anything from it. Not a fan. Not a fan of that one either.
You're a little old. That's Brinley's favorite movie.
Yeah, that's
my youngest daughter.
We're already past that age when Moana came out. We had Ice Age. That was probably our kids' favorite thing, and Toy Story.
Yeah,
they're
making Toy Story 5, by the way. They just announced it.
Jeez, is Tim Allen going to be in it? Because I feel like
Tim Allen came out, and he's the reason I saw the announcement.
Oh, okay, because I'm pretty sure he got canceled from Buzz Lightyear, right? They made a whole origin story without him.
I don't know the story behind that, but yeah, he was not in it.
Yeah, he was not in it. That's true. Yeah. Okay, Toy Story 5. That's good. My kids will be too old for that, but it's all about timing. You refresh the new generation onto Toy Story, then they can go back and watch 1 through 4.
Yeah.
And the sales are just through the things we owned from Toy Story. Just, oh man, so much money.
Toy Story is the successful Land Before Time. There's 87 lands before time. If you added up all of the lands before time and the time between them, it would be older than 65 million years. Land Before Time existed in someone's mind before there were dinosaurs.
Yeah, definitely. The problem is the first Land Before Time was Bambi, basically.
Yeah.
It was the concept of Bambi, and then they just got carried away.
This is where, now I'm just spinning around in my chair, with the program completely frozen, but I'm glad that it's still holding out.
Oh, I can hear.
I'm gonna laugh like if it's still recorded it or whatever. But
it's gonna have you in the video for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna have me like doing my random things. But the one thing I enjoyed this last week, because now we're done with beer, I cracked a bomber, and it had the reason I completely bought it because of the name, and it was Hubbard's Cave. So Hubbard's Cave, all it is white letters, black words. Like there's no art. So I bought, and it would be the name of it was it would be better if you did.
Yeah.
So that was the name. It'd be better if you did. And I forgot what it was. Or it'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm keeping the bottle. Just till so I cracked it. I was like, oh, I'll see what I'm cracking. That's the only. It's a barley wine. I enjoyed that last Thursday.
Yeah.
By myself, and it was delightful. Last Friday.
Nice.
Last Friday, it was amazing. I want more barley wines. I want.
More
I've yet to have a barley wine. They're challenging to produce. You've got to wait a little while, so you're not getting that turn and burn profit on your product. But that was it was phenomenal to have by myself, and I was at the perfect amount of happiness and exaltation just from having that beer.
I think there's another beer called "It'd Be a Lot Better If You Did."
Yeah, it'd be a lot cooler if you did.
A lot cooler if you did. Yeah.
Yep.
But, yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you. Because it was aged 24 months. I'm shooting you a picture right now. But wow. God, was it? I'm gonna go back to the store because it wasn't, and hopefully they have it there. The price point wasn't too horrendous, but businesses are in the money of making.
If we were to dive into barley wines as like a topic of maybe like a thematic episode or a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Like, this is barley wine week or barley wine month. We would be able to do maybe one each.
Yeah.
Because they are heavy.
They're so like heavy without an IPA is heavy.
Right.
These are bulky, like this is like 120 minute. 120 minute to me is like approaching like that.
Yeah.
It's the gravity, but gravity with character.
Yep. Did I tell you my 120-minute story from Chicago?
No, you had one recently?
Yes. So I was in Chicago for, what was it? I don't remember. Maybe Christmas. And I went to Binny's, and someone was in there saying, like, I'm getting a gift, and I don't know anything about beer. I want to buy a beer in this price range, and it has to be an IPA. And I'm like, okay. So I'm listening, and I'm thinking, okay, well, you're not going to find much that's gift-worthy in the IPA category. Those are going to be just, pull off the shelf and go drink right now kind of beers. However, there was one 4-pack of 120-minute. And the person at Binny's that this person had asked for advice from stopped at the 120-minute and described it for maybe 5 straight minutes. So clearly he knew.
Yeah.
This beer was an elite member of the IPA Society or whatever. What type of beer is a 120-minute?
It's an IPA.
It's an IPA. And I wasn't sure if there was like an Imperial before it or something.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's doctored up, yeah.
Okay. And the guy was like, yeah, no, something else. And I was like, holy shit. And there's one left. And I bought it. I went and bought it. I went and took it off the shelf immediately.
What year was it?
There. So
do you know what year?
It's this year. It was 2022, okay. Not this year. Last year. So I'm gonna save it for a while.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah, I got my cellar here in the Carriage House bar. Just pitch black room. It's a closet. Just keep it in there for a while. Nice and cool. But that was my story. I mean, like, the guy was just like, oh, no, I don't want that. And the Binny's guy was explaining it like it was this, like the king of beers. But better than Budweiser.
It's like, it's interesting, you know, just because I'm one of those people, like if you took that much time to like explain to me, like, you know, and like put the emphasis and the gravitas on the situation, like I'm just buying it at that point. Yeah, I don't know if it was against that person's price point or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the same time that I bought the Chicago variant of the Goose Island bourbon barrel stout. Bourbon County, whatever.
BCB. I had a lady at the liquor store pitched that to me. You know, I was like, oh, because it was my first time being in that liquor store, and anytime again somebody says, hey, stop by here, they have an amazing selection, and boy, did they! I mean, I walked out of there, and I'm living out of a hotel, but so I still bought quite a bit, but I was like, hey, do you have any 120 minute? Yeah. And she's like, oh, is that Dogfish Head? She goes, we have some 60 minute. I was like, yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah, different beer. I don't want that shit.
Yeah.
I want that garbage. Yeah. Yep. That's the same exact thing. They had 60 minute and 90 minute. And the thing is, they have all this Ohio beer at Binny's by my sister's house.
Yeah.
They have like all kinds of Rheingeist and a bunch of platform and all kinds of stuff that they shouldn't have, but they do. And no one knows. You got to stop buying 312 and buy Truth, because it's there. It's in Illinois. Buy it. That's my advice to Illinoisans.
Yeah, there's still CBS's out there too. Buy that if you see it. They're not making
CBS's
anymore.
Out there. You're right.
Buy it.
Buy it up, man.
I buy it when I see it.
Yep. Buy it up. They're still out there. And Pivo. Make sure you guys, if you see Pivo, buy Pivo.
All the Pivo.
So buy it out. If you get cases of it, the more the merrier. You won't regret it.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else. We talked about the Super Bowl. We talked about beer and 120.
Yeah. I think it was a meaty episode besides my video killing out. Like, seriously, if I do any more, I'm afraid that, and again, because it's just you and I talking, it's not three people, I can't join the call. So I didn't want to hang up because I think it would end the recording.
I think your video is going to be there.
It'll be interesting because I've been doing some interesting things over here.
If the video's there, leave a comment below. Just say here.
Speaking of the video being there, this is my one tangent that we need to talk about. Later last week, I messaged JT because I've been doing some data management. So I bought, and I have everything BCP we've ever done, the audio files, the video files, everything. And it's on my external. And I transferred to one, formatted to old, and transferred it back. And that folder, when I went to transfer it back, the BCP folder was corrupt. And I about lost it because that was like everything. It's all available on the interweb, so it's not lost, but it's lost to like my ability to just go and like watch it like local to my machine. Yeah. So I did some disk management, like found the corrupted, refreshed it, and boom, got it all. So a success story.
I don't know how you did it, but it's a very good success story.
That one folder too. I mean, there's other folders. I didn't want to lose all my movies or anything like that, but.
Oh yeah, no, that happened to me. I lost all my movies. When you deploy, typically you can fill your hard drive up really quickly. Yeah. Movies that other people have. And I did that, and I lost them all. Some of them aren't even on streaming networks, so I'm a little upset. But
that's where it's a tough row to hoe.
Yeah, whatever. Shit happens. But yeah, let's. I guarantee your video will be there. That's it for episode 221. Any parting words?
Hammer of abrasiveness.
Hammer of abrasiveness. That's it. See you all later. Thanks for joining us for the podcast.